2 Chronicles chapter 18. Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance, and joined affinity with Ahab. And after certain years, he went down to Ahab, to Samaria. And Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead. And Ahab, king of Israel, said unto Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, Wilt thou go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered with him, I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and he will be with thee in the war. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Therefore the king of Israel gathered together of the prophets 400 men, and said unto them, Shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for God will deliver it into the king's hand. But Jehoshaphat said, Is there not a prophet of the Lord besides, that we might inquire of him? And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man by whom we may inquire of the Lord. But I hate him, for he never prophesied good unto me, but always evil. The same is Micaiah, the son of Imaiah. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say so. And the king of Israel called for one of his officers, and said, Fetch quickly Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat king of Judah sat either of them on his throne, clothed in their robes, and they sat in a void place at the entering in of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah the son of Kenana had made him horns of iron, and said, Thus saith the Lord, With these thou shalt push Syria until they become consumed, until they be consumed. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spake to him, saying, Behold, the words of the prophets declare good to the king with one assent. Let thy word, therefore, I pray thee, be like one of theirs, and speak thou good. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, even what my God saith, that will I speak. And when he was come to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, Go ye up and prosper, and they shall be delivered into your hand. And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjure thee, that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of the Lord? Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return, therefore, every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? Again he said, Therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying, After this manner, and another saying, After that manner. Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, Thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil against thee. Then Zedekiah the son of Kenana came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek, and said, Which way went the Spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? And Micaiah said, Behold, thou shalt see on that day when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. Then the king of Israel said, Take ye Micaiah and carry him back to Ammon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, Thus saith the king, Put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction, until I return in peace. And Micaiah said, If thou certainly return in peace, then hath not the Lord spoken by me. And he said, Hearken, all ye people. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself, and will go to the battle. But put thou on thy robes. So the king of Israel disguised himself, and they went to the battle. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of the chariots that were with him, saying, Fight ye not with small or great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, "It is the king of Israel." Therefore they compassed about him to fight. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Lord helped him. And God moved them to depart from him. For it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back again from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, "Turn thine hand, that thou mayest carry me out of the host, for I am wounded." And the battle increased that day. Howbeit the king of Israel stayed himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the even, and about the time of the sun going down, he died. 2 Chronicles chapter 19. And Jehoshaphat the king of Judah returned to his house in peace to Jerusalem. And Jehu the son of Hanani the seer went out to meet him, and said to King Jehoshaphat, "Should thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Therefore is wrath upon thee from before the Lord. Nevertheless, there are good things found in thee, in that thou hast taken away the groves out of the land, and hast prepared thine heart to seek God." And Jehoshaphat dwelt at Jerusalem, and he went out again throughout the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto the Lord God of their fathers. And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city, and said to the judges, "Take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for the Lord, who is with you in the judgment. Wherefore now let the fear of the Lord be upon you, and take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Lord our God, no respect of persons, nor taking gifts." Moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat set of the Levites and of the priests and of the chief fathers of Israel for the judgment of the Lord, and for controversies when they returned to Jerusalem. And he charged them, saying, "Thus shall ye do in the fear of the Lord, faithfully and with a perfect heart. And what cause soever shall come to you of your brethren that dwell in their cities between blood and blood, between law and commandment, statutes and judgments, ye shall even warn them that they trespass not against the Lord, and so wrath come upon you and upon your brethren. This do, and ye shall not trespass. And behold, Amariah the chief priest is over you in all matters of the Lord, and Zebediah the son of Ishmael, the ruler of the house of Judah, for all the king's matters. Also the Levites shall be officers before you. Deal courageously, and the Lord shall be with the good. 2 Chronicles chapters 17, 18, and 19 commentary. I spent probably most of the time underlining so many things about this when Jehoshaphat became king, when Asa had died, and Ahab was king of Israel. And I think there's so much to break down here, but it's summarized in chapter 19 with what Jehu, the seer, said to Jehoshaphat in verse 3, chapter 19, nevertheless, actually it's verse 2, and Jehu the son of Hanani, the seer, went out to meet him and said to King Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Therefore is wrath upon thee from before the Lord. And this is King Jehoshaphat joining with people that hate the Lord. And it's shocking because it's Israel. Jehu is talking about Israel. All Israel. Ahab and all the people of Israel hate the Lord. He's talking about them. And wrath is upon Jehoshaphat and his kingdom because of what he did. As Christian Pinto mentioned, it's amazing, just a few days back, Christian Pinto was talking about this. This is like some ecumenical move that Jehoshaphat made with Ahab. I guess he wanted to be in peace with and get along with Ahab. And look at how Ahab was so evil and conniving. So he calls for prophet, what was his name? So in Micaiah, that because the prophets that were prophesying were saying that, oh, you're going to win in the war. And Jehoshaphat knew that they were false prophets. Look at verse 6 of chapter 18. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, that we might inquire of him? So Jehoshaphat knew that the prophets were prophesying lies. And they keep going. Look at verse 11, chapter 18. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. But then Micaiah said to the king, so he kind of mocks him and tells him that he is going to prosper and he's going to win. But then Ahab tells him, no, I know that's not true, that what the prophets, so he's agreeing with the false prophets, teasing, taunting Ahab, and he's saying, yeah, come on, go up. And Ahab knows that the false prophets are the false prophets, and they are not speaking the truth. So then finally, Micaiah tells him that. So here it is in verse 15. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjure thee that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of the Lord? Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And those are the words of Jesus as well. He repeats them because under Ahab they have no shepherd. Then Micaiah sees the Lord and this lying spirit going out, asking permission of the Lord to go and be a lying spirit in the mouths of all the prophets. And look at verse 22. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil against thee. Then Zedekiah the son of Kenana came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek and said, which way went the Spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? Doesn't that remind you again of Jesus when he is struck on the face and and they mock him and say, prophesy, who hit you? So in the same manner that they treated Jesus, they treat his prophets. The false prophets are always deceiving the people and leading the people astray. And that is our problem today, is that we are too friendly with those that hate the Lord. The people of Rome, the people of the prosperity gospel, the people that follow people like Donald Trump, they're all false prophets. Those are the people that hate the Lord. Those are the people that Jehu is speaking about when he says, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? Why are we loving them that hate the Lord? Those that hate the King James Bible, those that mock the King James Bible and call us thumpers and call us, I don't know what they call us, like what people like Doreen Virtue was calling us, like we're radical conspiracy theorists. It's amazing. There's no defense for the King James Bible today. There's no defense of the great record that the King James Bible has held for hundreds of years, being the best-selling book of all time, is the King James Bible, not the Bible. The NIV Bible is not the best-selling book of all time. The New King James Bible is not the best-selling book of all time. The Living Translation is not the best-selling book of all time. The what is that guy Simmons Bible? Brian Simmons, the Message Bible, in the Passion. They're not the best-selling books of all time. They have done nothing but destroy and agreed with King Ahab. Those Bibles are nothing but a version of King Ahab, who had a prophet that he would inquire of him, and still he tells King Jehoshaphat, you go and dress in king's clothes, and I will disguise myself. What a liar, what a cheat. He wants King Jehoshaphat to get killed. He knows that Micaiah was speaking the truth, and it was the word from the Lord, but still pushes the issue, still knowing that he's going against the Lord, knowing that the Lord has sent a lying spirit on the prophets, still knowing he is trying to entice King Jehoshaphat to get killed in the war. That's who these Bibles follow. They're false Bibles, they're false teachers, they're false preachers. All these prosperity gospel preachers that follow nothing but Rome is the same thing. They follow after the manner of Ahab and Jezebel. That's why you have female preachers in the prosperity gospel churches, because they're every single one female preacher out there is nothing but just a replica of Jezebel, wife of Ahab, hater of God. He hated God, he hated Micaiah, he hated the prophets, and he killed them. She killed them, put them to death. Anyway, it's very dangerous. That's why I had to pause. I can't just read it without pointing out a lot of things that are very similar to what is happening today, what happened at the time of Jesus, and what has happened ever since. These people have been prostituting themselves with the nations around them, which is what we do here in America, and we need to repent. We'll see you guys tomorrow.